Hey guys, it is Last Brohican, and I'm coming at you with a little bit of a different thing. No game swaps this time around. This is just a game that has been consuming my life for like the last couple months. Crusader Kings 2. But it's one of those games where every time I read about it, like people's reviews, and from my own personal experience, it takes a long time to get familiar with the game because it's very in depth, very complex, and honestly took me forever to really figure it out. And there are some things that I probably don't even know. This is going to be a tutorial, but I'm sure I will be getting comments from you guys saying like, well, Last Brohican, you're a little wrong about that. It's actually, this is how it works, because there's just so much to it, and there will be things that happen in this tutorial and let's play that even I might not be able to explain. Even I might be like, I'm not sure what the hell just happened there. So I'm a weirdo, and I always just like to start in the early Middle Ages. I'll sometimes bop around every now and then, but I just like it because, for the most part, everything's pretty small, except for certain parts of the world, Middle East primarily. But we're gonna go into the early Middle Ages. And if you're just starting, if this is like, if you just bought this game and you're like, oh, I want to check it out, I really, really, really recommend starting with, don't go tribal. Okay, well, don't go tribal. Yes, don't do that. Start with feudal. Now, I will say, what I will say first is that the DLC packs I'm rolling with. So right now I have the Sword of Islam, the Old Gods, I can actually see it right here, can't I? Yeah, Legacy of Rome, which has to deal with Byzantine Empire. Old Gods said that, Rajas of India, Charlemagne, Way of Life, and the Reaper's Due. So you really, if you just bought the vanilla state of the game, you won't see much difference. But these two, if you just bought vanilla, Way of Life, and Reaper's Due, mine will be a little bit different than yours. So no biggie. I will still explain it as though it was vanilla. I'll do both. So since we see that feudal, you want to stick with feudal. So you have Icta is roughly the same, but yeah, you can do feudal here as well. But we will do it here in lovely Britain. Now, the one I like to play as right now is Wessex, because they're small but big enough to really make an impact. So we will start here. We got our little guy here, King Sinwulf of Wessex. Now, since I said this is going to be a let's play and a tutorial, this first episode is going to be pretty short. I'm just going to be showing you what you want to do in the first 5 minutes of the game, because especially playing as a feudal government, things are going to move real slow. So let's get it started. I like to play on Iron Man mode, just so you add a little extra skin to the game. As you can see, all my lovely saves. All right. So let's get started here. Alright, and then welcome to Crusader Kings 2. Okay. So first thing we want to do is look up here. We got some important decisions. Our ruler isn't married. Our demesne is too big. We got some unlanded sons. We're kind of all over the place right now. We need to pick an ambition. This is a Way of Life DLC thing, so if you have just the vanilla version, you may not see this. Special title actions. Okay, minors. Okay. Alright. So, first thing you probably want to do is deal with your council. Now, your council is like the guys who basically make the kingdom run. So and depending on what government you play with, if you're a tribal or you're an Icta, these guys are gonna have different options. So that's why I recommend going with feudal first, because it's probably the most straightforward with these guys. If you want me to do a tutorial on tribal, and I could kind of do Icta, I haven't played a whole lot of the Muslim empires. I can do both as well. But first off, we'll start with our Chancellor. Now, he has 3 options. He can improve diplomatic relations. Usually you want to do this with your own vassals. Fabricate claims, and sow dissent. We're looking to fabricate claims here. This, especially in feudal governments, is key to gaining more kingdom, gaining more land. So, we're going to start picking off these little guys here, Surrey and Sussex. So, and this thing right here, their diplomacy skill, is going to dictate how good they are at doing their job. Everybody has their own rating of the different skills of diplomacy, martial, stewardship, intrigue, and learning. I'll go into a little bit more detail later about what each of those do, but right now I'm just looking to get you set up. So as a feudal government, you're going to probably start picking off somebody. So we're going to take on Surrey here. Next thing we do is our marshal. So our marshal, as the name kind of sounds, he is the guy who basically raises the army for you and can suppress revolts, so making sure that the population does not go crazy on you. Train troops, basically making sure you have a stronger, bigger levy size, which is levy meaning the amount of guys you can call to fight, and research military tech. Because, as we can see, I can't get any more levies. If you ever want to see how much a lord can call to arms, just look at this guy right here with a little helmet thing. It'll tell you. So like here, the king of Mercia has 700 levies, while I have 800. So first things first, since we have as many guys as we possibly can get, I'm just gonna have him research military tech. Now our steward is good at collecting taxes, can do construction, and research economy tech. Honestly, I don't ever really do the oversee construction. When you're moving fast enough in the game, how fast something gets built is not really that big of an importance to you. But since we're pretty low on dough right now, we are going to collect some taxes. Next thing here is our spy master. What he can do is scheme, build a spy network, and study technology. This guy's probably one of the more complex ones to explain. So scheming. What that means is that as you grow as a kingdom, you will get more vassals. And as you get more vassals, they will start wanting some shit. You know, they are going to start saying, yo, king, I want some more land. I want to become my own country. I want to do this. I want to do that. And it could be honestly just a pain. So what your spy master can do is, if you're, say Surrey here was my vassal, if they were like, yo, give me some land, we could set him in there, set him in Surrey, and he would basically tell the vassal to go kick sand, pound rocks, whatever. I just totally reversed those phrases, but whatever, you know what I'm saying. Next is build spy network. So as we can see, it would increase our plot power by 6.5%. Now, what does that mean, Last Brohecan? So I won't go too crazy in this right now, but the intrigue tab here, click to choose a plot. We can, throughout our times, get into some crazy antics. Like, for instance, if I wanted to, well, I can't do it right now, but I could plot to kill people. I guess I could, like, do it here, right? Yeah, so I could plot to kill my own spy master if I wanted to. What that means is, if I plot to do that, let me jump on it real quick just so I can show you. We plot to kill, shows our plot power. So what that means is the likeliness of actually being able to carry out the task, to actually not necessarily kill him, but at least give options, present yourself openings to actually taking this dude out. And what you can also do is add people to the plot. As we can see here, no one wants that to happen right now, so we're obviously not going to do this. How do I can I cancel this? Oh yeah, right here. So, boom. Alright. And then the last one is study technology. This means you just plant him in one of these many beautiful countries here, and he will study their technology, basically stealing it for you. Right now, we're just going to send him the Byzantine Empire because we don't have any vassals. I'm not really all that worried about it. At least vassals that have any sort of power. Last but not least, it's the court chaplain. He can proselytize. I probably just butchered that word. What that means is, if you own land that has a different religion than you, as we can see here, obviously we got Catholic, we got Sunni, Shia, whatever that is, Slavic, Tengri, Suomensko, Germanic. So if I were like to take over these guys over here, you know, there's a lot of negatives that come with having populations of different religion. You know, obviously back in the day here, you're either with them or against them on religion. So this guy, you can send this dude in, and after a little while, well, it depends on how long it takes, he can convert the land and your subjects to believe whatever religion he is. Next thing he does is research cultural tech. And that is, I'll show you the technology stuff in a hot minute here. That is, just researching stuff. Honestly, this is what I normally do. And then improve religious relations. What he can do then is he can go to other lands, other people, other places that have churches, talk to them, hang out with them, and like the guy who owns this dude, he'll he might like me more. He'll talk on my behalf. I don't ever really use this one that much. It definitely has its pluses if you want to go talk to the Pope. Like if we're like, yo, Pope, let's be cool, let's be friends. That can help out in a lot of different ways. But we're not too worried about that right now. We're just worried about Wessex. So there we are. Boom. All right. All of our council now has tasks. This isn't too crazy of a thing. Depending on the DLC, you're gonna want a court physician. This is the guy that's going to take care of you, making sure. This is probably the most important thing of the quote-unquote minor titles, the designated regent. So if something happens to your dude, whether he goes away, gets really sick, yada, 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 there's someone who's going to act in your place. So you typically want it to be someone you can trust, someone who likes you. You don't want anyone that's super mad at you. We got our commanders here. These don't necessarily do anything. It's just... it's just a way to make people more happy with you. So I'm going to hold off on that right now because that's not important. Next thing, and probably one of the last things you need to do in terms of just getting the game going, is picking an ambition. Now, if you're playing vanilla, you're going to have a ton more options here. The reason why is because in vanilla, they just give you options to improve your different skills here. So obviously, as we see, our guy is pretty okay at marshaling, but he just sucks at everything else. So like if I was playing vanilla, I'd probably do stewardship, because stewardship directly affects your demesne size and like how much you get for taxes. Diplomacy, really just like it says diplomatic skills affects other characters' opinion of you. Martial, the biggest thing for this is it's how good you are in fights and how big your levy size can be. So he's doing all right for our first dude. Intrigue, will help you out with the plots. I probably should have said that earlier. This will help you out if you want to choose a plot. And finally, learning. Typically, this is just for. It's good for your court chaplain, and it's good if you need a doctor. But for you yourself, it will just give you some extra options. In terms of when like little chance things happen. So we'll just choose this. All right. We're gonna go amass wealth. I don't really need anything right now, and then here's the way of life. If you bought this DLC, it basically chooses a way for your dude to focus on things. Since he's good at the martial, we're gonna focus more on business and kind of get that up. So let's throw that up real quick. So yeah, that is the last thing I got here. This will get you started. We could start it now, and things would just get chugging along. We can start. We can just go. Guys, right now we can't really get into wars or anything right now. We don't have any claims. So that's it for this first episode, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm just going to keep chugging along and explaining different things about this game. I hope you found this informational, and as always, happy gaming, gamers.